Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World Blitz Scrabble Championship. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. It is 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, but it is still Thursday evening back here in the US of A, where I'm coming at you. My name is Evans Clinchy. Very happy to have you with us for this broadcast. It's going to be fun. This is week 2 of Blitz Champs. We are just getting started with the second week of this tournament. We got 40 matches under our belt in week 1, and we're now getting started with the second week. And tonight's match is none other than my spouse, Jennifer Clinchy, and one of my oldest friends in Scrabble, Jesse Day. So me personally, really looking forward to this match. Really will enjoy watching these two work, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. Jennifer and Jesse are going to be getting started in just a moment. They are two of the players in Group C, Group Chipmunk in Blitz Champs. So here's a little look at the standings. Jesse is in first place right now, 1-0 in his first match and 9-0 in games. Jesse is currently in first, but Jackson Smiley, Chris Grubb, and some others are nipping at his heels. And Jennifer was 3-6 against Chris Grubb in her first match, so she's currently in 8th place out of 10 in this group. So we're going to be just getting started right now with game 1 between, let me just pull that screen back. Let me make sure that the players are in the room ready to go. Looks like we are still waiting on Mr. Day to show up for his match, so I will stall for a little bit while I wait for him to show up. Anyway, as we were saying, Jesse is currently in first place in Group C, and Jackson Smiley was an 8-1 victor over Indanil Amarasinghe, and Chris Grubb beat Jennifer 6-3. And then also in week 1 in the Chipmunk group, Deepakar Chatterjee was a 5-4 winner over Zachary Dang, and Janil Da Silva beat Victor Tong, also 5-4. So those were your scores from the first week, and week 2 is getting started now, and we're just waiting on Jesse to show up. I'm pretty sure he knows the way to Woogle, seeing as he helped create it. But we are currently still trying to locate Jesse. I know he knows when his match is. He mentioned earlier today that he's looking forward to it, so I imagine he'll be there any second now. But if anybody knows Jesse, they know he's not always the most punctual guy. So I'll just sit here and vent for a little bit. I can take a quick look at the schedule for week 2. These are the matches that we have scheduled for the next 24 hours starting right now. So we got Jesse and Jennifer playing at 2 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on the West Coast, and 9 p.m. Eastern where Jesse is. And then a lot of more matches coming up after that. David Eldar is playing Madhav Gopal Kamath. That'll be in about 4.25 hours, and that'll be on David Eldar's Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Deldar182. After that, we got Conrad Bassett Bouchard and Dorothy Okach. We got Hubert Wee and Nathanan Limthunkham. We got a whole lot more matches coming up, so it's going to be fun. Just getting an update now that Jennifer is sending Jesse a text and asking him where is he, because he should be showing up for his match. But anyway, we got a whole lot more matches coming up this weekend, 40 matches in all. It's been really a pleasure to see how many people have been not just enjoying playing the matches, but also streaming them online. There's been a whole lot of Twitch broadcasts. I think that out of the 40 matches in the first week, something like 17 or 18 were on Twitch. And it's not just me streaming them, it's also Mac Meller, who's one of our co-commentators on this tournament. And then it's just a lot of the players streaming themselves. You look at the calendar right now for today's games, you see Joe McGinley's going to be streaming his match against Edward Oculitz. Cesar del Solar is going to be streaming against Amit Chakrabarti. And then Josh Sokol is going to be streaming his match against Leon Tan. So I want to say thanks to everybody who's helped create more content about this tournament. It's been really exciting to turn on Twitch every day and see somebody streaming their match, if not 2 or 3 or 4 somebody's. It's been really cool. All right, so I'm seeing that McGrathian has finally logged on to Wiggles.io. That is Jesse Day, and it looks like Jesse will be getting ready to start the match soon with Jennifer. So after a brief pause, it looks like those guys are going to be ready to go. Jesse just narrowly avoiding the forfeit loss by showing up too late. I see he's in the chat and he says, hey. So I think they're going to be getting started just a minute from now, and we will take you to the game as soon as we can. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Thursday evening / Friday morning, wherever you might be in the world. Hope you're looking forward to watching Jesse versus Jennifer here, a battle of the Chipmunks. Again, this is Group C, Group Chipmunk. Jesse Day, number 1 right now in the Chipmunk group at 9-0. Jennifer in 8th place at 3-6, and these two are going to be doing battle here in week 2 in just a moment. Looks like we are still waiting on those guys to get started, but I imagine they will be getting going any minute now. So there's going to be a pretty competitive group, this Chipmunk group, I would imagine. Jesse's in first place right now, but I would imagine that Jackson Smiley, Chris Grubb, and the rest of them are going to be very competitive the whole way. This tournament is 9 weeks of pool play. Everyone in this group will play everyone once, and for Jesse, every win's going to count because it's going to be a very competitive group, and somebody like Jackson or Chris is definitely a threat to compete with them for those 2 playoff spots. Again, 2 players from each group are going to advance to the knockout rounds. That means of these players, whether it's Jesse, Jackson, Chris, anybody else, 2 of them are going on to the playoffs of this tournament. The other 8 are going home. So we are still waiting on Jesse Day to start his game with Jennifer, and we will keep you posted on that. I will just keep on stalling for as long as I need to. I'm glad I created these extra screens with the standings and the schedule and all that. It gives me something to talk about while I'm stalling. I did not know that I'd be stalling for this long, but such is life when you're commentating a game between Jesse Day and anybody, really. Looks like Jesse is still not playing his game with Jennifer. I don't know why I'm blaming Jennifer. It could be Jennifer's fault for all I know. I don't mean to be showing any kind of bias. I just know that with prior history here, Jesse is the less punctual individual of the 2. So, waiting on these 2 to get started. Hope they will do so any second now. Welcome to everybody in the chat. I see Budak in the chat saying, beat Jesse. I am trying to stay unbiased. It's obviously difficult with your own wife and a good friend of yours playing each other, but I'm going to refrain from commenting on that beat Jesse comment, but I'm just going to kind of let that sit there. It should be a good match whenever they finally begin playing it. And yeah, a lot more matches coming up this weekend. Really looking forward to a jam-packed schedule on Saturday. There's going to be Mr. Budak, Cedric is going to be playing, I believe, Peter Armstrong in his match. I think there's going to be a whole lot of other exciting matchups. This is the weekend in which the 4 seeds play the 5s and the 3s play the 6s in each group. So a lot of pretty close, pretty evenly matched games between a lot of the middle-of-the-pack players in this tournament. Okay, I believe that Jesse and Jennifer are finally going to begin playing Scrabble, so let's take you to the game. We're just getting started now. That is Kempe on the top of your screen is Jennifer Clinchy, and McGrathian on the bottom is Jesse Day. So Kempe opens with Motto for 20, and Jesse quickly plays Cat QAT for 32 and an early lead. Looks like Vaurien is the 7-letter word on Jennifer's rack, and I don't believe that it plays anywhere, so she might have to play off some tiles and try to angle for a bingo next turn. Difficult situation. It certainly looks like you might have a bingo with this kind of a rack, but with no spot for the 7 and not a lot of floaters for 8s, it's going to be tough to come up with anything on this board. She plays Mauve for 20. And Jesse's got a rack of, I see Isogamy right away, and he does play Isogamy. 94 points, a big bingo. Jennifer has drawn the other blank, though, and she'll probably have a bingo of her own here. It's actually not the easiest board to get a bingo down with these 7 tiles, even though she's got the blank. Looks like Wynyard just barely doesn't fit through that Y. And I don't believe there's going to be too many 7s in this rack. Yeah, there are no 7-letter words with these 7 tiles, and it's going to be hard to find an 8 either. Just not a lot of floating tiles to work with. So if you can't bingo, maybe there's a way to, fish a little bit but still score well with your H and your W. That's also pretty hard, though. I mean, plays like Haw are pretty fishy. Yeah, she's going to play Haw. Okay, so 29 keeping INR blank, and Jesse draws Surgeon right out of the bag. Boy, great start for Jesse as he has drawn 2 bingos in his first 4 turns. But now it's back to Jennifer, who's got an open N and in the triple-triple lane. I mean, can she find the triple-triple? I'm not sure if there is one. I see Anti-Aaron, which doesn't hit the second triple on the right. There might not be one that hits both with the N in 7th position. It's hard to spot a letter there. There's a lot of words that end in N. There's Anti-Aaron, there's Trainman, there's Notarian, but I don't believe anything has the N 7th. And of course, these kinds of turns take a lot of time off your clock. We are playing 3-minute games with 1 minute of extra overtime. Every second counts, and it is hard to play quickly with a rack like that. She plays aerating for 66, which is probably fine. Well, not fine compared to a play like Trainman, but she gets the bingo down. All right, Jesse continues to score pretty well with the X, but Jennifer plays Henry for 30 points pretty quickly. Jesse up by about a bingo right now. 79-point lead, 244 to 165. So for Jesse, he's got a big advantage on the clock. Only used about 40 seconds, whereas Jennifer has about 40 seconds left. So Jesse can afford to take his time a little bit. It's always a little bit harder when you don't have an easy bingo on your rack. Not that Isogamy is terribly easy, but Jesse, credit to him, he found it pretty quickly. All right, he's going to play a little bit of a short play. Val for 12, keeping EILPS. So nice leave for bingos, and also you could score well with the P if you don't bingo, so it's got some flexibility to it. Jennifer's got the J and a lot of consonants with it. She plays Ja for 28, and Jesse has, looks like no bingo. He's going to play Pile for 26. Like I was saying, you can score with the P if you can't bingo and still keep a pretty good lead. EILS is nice. Bridled, the 7 tiles for Jennifer, but I believe there's no spot for that. And she's going to play Blythe for 20 through that V in mauves, and now Jesse with more vowels to go with his EILS. Also a second S, but not a great draw for that EILS leave, I don't think. All right, so Biles keeps a totally reasonable leave of EIS, and quickly Jennifer plays Nod. Jesse up by 70 now. Doesn't have the open R for Frowiest. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a bingo with this rack, but pretty easy to score and balance. Just get rid of your W, maybe your F as well, and continue to keep your rack balance, and you should be fine. Yeah, Woe is a fine play, 22. Jennifer with about 10 seconds before she goes over on her clock. She plays pretty quickly, though. Zoe comes down for 26, keeping FLRS. She's got to draw some vowels pretty soon to get back in this game. All right, so Fur is going to cut off bingos at the bottom of the board, which is pretty important now. It's going to be hard for Jennifer to come back without that lane. Also hard without more vowels. She's probably going to look to unload the G, the F, if she can. Not easy to do here. Not a lot of places to bingo. Not a lot of scoring spots on this board either. It's a pretty dry board for all possibilities. We'll see what she can come up with, though. Again, 3-minute games with 1 minute overtime. You forfeit if you go over by more than a minute. So Jennifer is about 35 seconds from losing this game automatically. She plays EF for 16. Jesse draws Pectize, but there is no spot for anybody to bingo on this board. We'll probably just fish away the P and score 20 or so. There's a spot next to Zoe to score 20. He does play that. Yeah, PE keeping CEIST, very strong. Jennifer with more consonants. She's probably going to look to play off, the G, the L, one of the T's. Hard to do, though. Yeah, she plays GI. That's not going to open too many bingos, though. Jesse has Deceits. No spot for that either. I think Jesse's content, though, to just keep on playing a closed board, and either he'll win on the clock or he'll win on points. Either way, he's in good shape. Up by 80, and Jennifer's 20 seconds away from flagging. Ooh, so that is a phony 2 of IB. I swear I've seen IB more than any phony 2. All right, Blett comes down for 20. That is no good either. A couple of phonies in a row here as Jennifer's running low on time as well. Tonners from Jesse, and he's going to have himself a big, big lead now. So this game is seconds away from being done with. Jennifer, though, is going to do her best to not flag. I think it's sportsmanlike to make as many plays as you can before you run out of time, but she is now seconds away, and that'll be it. So your final score in game 1 is Jesse 499, Jennifer 291. It was a little closer than that, and then it got out of hand late. So your score in the match is now 1-0 in favor of Jesse Day, and we will get started soon with game number 2. So nice win for Jesse. He had the early bingos of Isogamy and Surgeon, and from there just kind of held his lead, managed the board well, and didn't let Jennifer come back. On to game number 2, and Jesse's got a weird Q and an F. He's going to just exchange, keeping AELR. Jennifer's got one of those racks where you'd love to go second, really. I mean, you have like bingos like Looniest and Oilstone, and not much to do with it if you're going first. Actually, Looniest and Oilstone are the only A-letter words that bingos. So not really that great of a rack for going first or second, really. Tough opening rack. You might just play Lou. Yeah, she does play Lou. Ooh, Jesse gets the blank. Very good exchange 3 for him. Probably not going to score a ton, though. He's got all 1 points with the blank, and Lou is just not a play that gives anything back. So a low-scoring bingo to come from Jesse, whether it's something like Tourulé or something like that. Areola, yeah, same idea. 66. Jennifer draws Dietine, and it plays, making Dor, D-O-R. So she's definitely got a big she does play it. Tideline was also available through the L, which would have been safer. Doesn't dangle the E out there in the triple lane. So it's back to Jesse, who's got, doesn't look like a bingo. He's definitely got a nice flexible rack that he can score okay with. There's no T-E-H, which would be a nice play at age 13. Internet slang is not always good in the dictionary. You can play pone, but not te. I'm guessing Jesse wants to play off the H and unduplicate his E and his T and take out this triple at the bottom. A word like the would be, you know, pretty natural, or something like that. You can play longer with Lethe, L-E-T-H-E, or Hetty. Okay, so Hetty is the choice from Jesse. Nice score of 27, and oof, Jennifer's drawn all consonants. All right, minor unloads 3 of the consonants for 19 points, not bad. And Jesse's got Maven for a big score, 44. Jennifer draws a reasonably balanced rack for once, and she's got the X for some scoring punch as well. She's got words like X'd, X-E-D underneath Maven for a good score. Looks like 45 or so. 44 maybe. She plays Dex. I think she missed X in the same spot, but pretty close to the same thing. And it's back to Jesse, who has a small lead now, 137-130. We got a game. So, doesn't look like a great spot exists for the J right now. Yeah, it doesn't look super enticing to have a J in this position. Yeah, Jaded. Okay, so Jaded is a nice way to use the J for some score, 28. And A-G-I-I-R-T-Y, awkward letters for Jennifer. We'll see what she can do with them. All right, she plays Gaiety. That's not how you spell that. That comes off. So it's back to Jesse with Bailey plus another E. He plays Yai, Y-A-E. And that gives a nice spot for Gray for 42. Nice job by Jennifer to score with those tiles, and even after the phony, she is still in this one, only down by 18. Jesse's also getting pretty low on time. 40 seconds left on his clock, 1:40 for Jennifer. Jesse's one of the best in the business, though, at scrambling with very little time left and still making good plays. He's done it in plenty of tournaments, both in person and online. Jesse's got 28, so he plays Blewit, B-L-E-W-I-T. And Jennifer looks like she's one tile off from a bingo. There's no R for rain suit. No, I think there's something else in this rack with an 8th letter. Yeah, Huitanes with an H, but that's not going to happen either. All right, so Jesse draws the Q, and it looks like a pretty bad Q to have. He'll just play QIS for 12, getting rid of his extra S as well. Brain, a quick play from Jennifer, and quickly Olio from Jesse. 38-point lead for Jesse. Both players with just the one bingo. Board getting a little bit blocked up, but not too bad. There's still some comeback chances for Jennifer available, I'm sure. All right, 39 for Dank, and ooh, Lon, L-O-N, phony 3. So the phony's really starting to add up for Jennifer now, and Jesse blocks the spot by playing of. But Dak for 32 is a nice play from Jennifer to keep scoring. She's now down by 31. Jesse with a minute and 5 seconds and then a minute overtime, I should say. All right, now he's over. So he's got a minute left before he flags, but I doubt he'll do that. Jesse's a good clock manager when he comes down to the end game here. Still 17 tiles in the bag, though. A lot of game left. All right, Jesse opens the board a little bit with Gert. Well, it's not that open. I mean, we'll see what happens with any plays overlapping or underlapping Gert. All right, 1 for 17. And that might actually lead to just kind of a staircase into the corner that keeps the board closed. All right, Neff up top opens up potential bingos into the end, but that's not a great lane or anything. The other bingo line here is making slat in line G, hooking onto lat. And for Jennifer, you know, she's only down by 42. I'll make that 20 now. If she bingos there, she's back in this thing for sure. All right, so QIS again from Jesse. And, ooh, Q-Prom's very nice bingo from Jesse Day, and that should put him in a pretty good position, up by 82, and that'll do it. Wow. So with the bingo, Jesse wins by a final score of 425 to 308, and he takes game 2. Your score in the match is now Jesse 2 and Jennifer 0. If you're just joining us, welcome in. It's been a good match so far with Jesse winning the first 2 games over Jennifer. He's up 2 games to none. We're going to be playing 9 games total in the match. It's not best of 9, it's you play all 9. So even if it's 5-0, 6-0, you keep on going to play all 9 games. Of course, spread does matter in terms of your game record, not just your match record, because if you look at the standings, we got a very tight race. Jesse is in first place in the group at 9-0, but you look at Jackson Smiley, Chris Grubb, and the rest of the gang, they are nipping at his heels. So a lot of players definitely going to be competing with Jesse in the Chipmunk group, and he's got to win every game that he can to stay in first place. So a good start for Jesse, who is now 11-0 overall in the tournament, and looks like they're going to get started now with game number 3. Let's go back to the board, and here we go. So Jennifer Clinchy, Kempe, is first, and she's got the F and the H and some 1-pointers to go with them. She's taking some time here. 15 seconds into her turn. 20 seconds in now. All right, she chooses full, keeping AHN, and it's a lot of vowels for Jesse along with the C. This might be an exchange. No, he's going to play Ilya. He plays through it for 6 points, keeping CEIO. All right, so, wow, it looks like Ilya actually blocked a bingo. Jennifer had hand-like, and it's blocked. The only other words in this rack are hand-like and skinhead through an S, so there'll be no bingo here for Jennifer. But I'm sure there's some ways for her to score with the H and the K. Note that OK is a word. That's one of the newer ones, and so that's an option. She can play like DAC, making OK. There's also, you know, words over top of Ilya going to the triple, like, ooh, she shouldn't play Hink, though. That's a phony that comes off. All right, so Joko is the play from Jesse, and he's up 30 to 14. But Jennifer's got the K, and there's now a big hotspot for it. Yeah, hanked is one of the words that you could play above Ilya. I was getting to that, and then Hink came down, so I had to reverse course with what I was saying. All right, so Jennifer taking a lot of time here to look at this rack. If I were her, I would just quickly play a short word with a K like kid. Yeah, there you go. But Jesse has drawn solidist through the D. I would expect that to come down. I don't think there are any other bingos available besides solidist, but I could be wrong. Jesse is taking his time, as he is wont to do. So EILOSST does not make any 7-letter words. It doesn't make that many 8s with this board. Yeah, just solidist, and solidist comes down. 70 points for Jesse, and he now has the lead. Jennifer has the Z, though. What can be done with the Z? Doesn't look like there's any super duper star play here, but there's probably a way to score decently with that Z. I'm not sure, though. You don't really want to just play something like Zoya, but that might be all you've got. All right, she'll hold on to the Z. Okay, so Shun is the choice, keeping the Z for later. Jesse draws very, very well. ADEINS blank. Plenty of bingos with this. And yeah, Sheeting is one example. 82 for Sheeting, and another big lead for Jesse, up by almost 120. Sheeting is challenged. It comes back good, so a +5 for Jesse. Jennifer's used up 2 minutes already, and she's going to have to find a play pretty quickly here with a weird rack, the Z and some interesting consonants with it. You know, there's plays like, oh yeah, Zagged, very nice. So Zagged also opens a spot to score more points from the Z. And as luck would have it, I don't think she's given Jesse anything with that rack. So she might actually get to catch in that Z spot and score a lot next turn too. Jesse plays the Q for 44 though. That's a pretty good score as well. And Jennifer has drawn the other blank. I don't think there's going to be a bingo on this board, but maybe she'll play through the V and the U and all that and try to find a bingo next turn. Yeah, Vague comes down and quickly runway for 43. A big scoring play from Jesse. All right, so Jennifer's definitely got some bingos here, like co-pilots through the O. Yeah, there's a few options here, I think. Opticals, I think that's the one that's not good. Yeah, topicals, posticle, lots of words in that, but opticals is the only one that's phony. So opticals comes off, and Jesse has some one-pointers that I believe don't quite bingo. Definitely tempting to fish with a rack like this because you're definitely one tile off from a lot of things. I don't know. I mean, if there's a way to score more points than by just ditching the R or something, I'd be open to scoring more points, but I'm not sure what that would look like. You know, you look at ZA, try to find some extensions. There isn't anything, I don't think. All right, so River and then Politics is the choice from Jennifer. Not the optimal bingo, but a bingo. She gets 63. Jesse draws Oniers right out of the bag. It plays underneath Ilya in line 10. It might play only there. He does play Oniers there. Okay, so 66, and it's back to Jennifer who's drawn the X. And she's going to play Wex, W-E-X-E, pretty fast, I would imagine, right up above Politics. Seems like a pretty obvious play here. It also leaves the triple-triple open, which you need. All right, so 78 for Wex, and Jesse blocked his own bingo of Beaver through the R by playing Oniers. But he plays above, that takes out the triple, and Jennifer will bingo with Nargile and Grail, etc. Plenty of options. And of course, they all play next to above. Probably in some other spots too. There's also Algerine with the E. So plenty of options here for Jennifer to bingo. Pretty low on time though. 30 seconds until she flags. So 388 to 250, a nice lead for Jennifer. Jennifer's going to bingo with Learning. Not the best bingo, but it is 60 points. And for Jesse, tough rack. Doesn't look like a bingo. You probably just want to balance a little bit with a play like Pet. I see Pet plays underneath Zaw, making Zap for a pretty good score. There's probably some other options like that as well. Jesse's taking his time, which he can afford to do. He's still got 20 seconds. All right, so Toped, and then Dash comes down immediately from Jennifer. She's not wasting any time. I just heard a primal scream from Jennifer in the next room. I don't know what she's screaming about, but I don't think it's because there were any phony twos, right? All right, Hom comes down for 30, and Jesse's going to go over and talk a little bit, but he's got just a couple tiles left, and this one will be over soon. All right, Ant for 9, and that'll be it. The final score is Jesse 463, Jennifer 367. And so Jesse Day winning again and going to 3-0 in the match. He's now 10-0 overall for the tournament. He cannot be stopped so far. We'll see if Jennifer can try and stop him in game 4 of this match coming right up. If you're just joining us, there's a whole lot of stuff coming up this weekend. Just taking a quick look at the next 24 hours. We've got David Eldar streaming his match on Twitch at Delar182 in about 4 hours against Gopal Kamath. We got Conrad and Dorothy, we got Hubert and Nathanon. We've got a whole lot of matches coming up later in the day. And then on Twitch, 11 p.m. GMT, it's going to be Edward Oculus and John Gimli. That should be fun. So lots of matches coming up. Hope you guys are going to enjoy them all. And it is now back to the match and game 4 is just getting started. So we've got Troil from Jesse, Troil, which is not a word, but Jennifer lets it go. I wonder if he misspelled trial or just made a typo. So Janitor is a big bingo from Jennifer. All right, 106 point play to start for Jennifer, so she's in a good position. So it's back to Jesse, who's in trouble right now. 106 to 12 is not a good place to be to start. All right, Vought for 15 from Jennifer. And
I see words like boggy are a good way for Jesse to unload these concepts. He plays coy instead. 36 points though, can't argue with a score like that. And it's back to Jesse, who is in a hole right now, 142 to 27. He's been playing through some difficult racks. We'll see what he can do with this one. Definitely struggling to draw anything he can work with so far. Jennifer also playing quickly. She's used 18 seconds. All right, Dotted just blowing up the rack for a good score right away, and it's back to Jennifer with lots of heavy consonants. We'll see what she can do with those. I think she's got Big, B-I-G-G, for a nice score in the top right corner. That's probably the best option. Yeah, I think that's definitely the best option. She chooses just Big without, I think she probably didn't know the Big with a second G. All right, Deep Perm is the choice from Jesse for a big score of 46 plus the 5-point challenge. So Jesse's back in it now, down by 56, and Jennifer continues to draw all consonants. She's got FY though, next to Dotted for a pretty good score. I would expect to see that. I suppose she could exchange, but I don't think I like the exchange here if there's a decent, 30-so point play available. 30 or so, I should say. Oh, she does exchange. Okay, she keeps just S blank. We'll see what she can draw to that leave. Jesse also exchanges, and Jennifer draws the X and some interesting stuff with it. No bingo, but definitely some options here. Looks like a not super great board for the X. Yeah, not super great at all. You can play. There's a spot for XIS next to janitors. You can't really do anything with that. All right, so Na is the choice. NAH keeping the SSX blank leave, which is always fun. And it's back to Jesse with an interesting combination of letters. I don't think he's quite got a bingo, but we'll see what he can do. All right, Jesse plays Tori for 33, and he's keeping pace here. Still within a bingo if he can draw one. All right, Jennifer's got a lead of 64 now. Owie is the choice from Jesse, only 18 points, but he's battling through those tough racks pretty well. But it gives an X spot to Jennifer. She's going to play something like Sax. I would expect to see that pretty close. She plays Tax, keeping GSS blank. And oof, just a rough draw for Jesse. He is not putting anything together here. This might be another exchange, actually. There just isn't much to do with this at all. He does exchange, keeping just the EM, trading 5, and Stagius is the bingo from Jennifer, so she's going to be way, way ahead now. Looking like Jennifer's going to get her first win of this match, unless some miracles are coming for Jesse Day. Dowey almost 200. He plays the Q for 32. Okay. As long as Jennifer draws just like decently balanced racks and scores a little bit each turn and doesn't run out of time, she should be fine here. Yeah, Barf for 20 is fine. And yeah, I mean, the objective here is don't flag pretty much. We'll see if Jesse can start drawing a bunch of bingos in a row, but barring that, he's going to have a hard time here. Mesh is a good score, 44. And Jennifer plays Energy for 11. I think she understands the objective here of just don't flag, so she's playing whatever word she can find and playing it quickly. Ooh, but don't play Ounce E. That's not good. The one way you can let Jesse back into the game is by scoring 0 every turn. You don't want to score 0. So Jesse's within 100 now. He's going to keep fighting here. Lou for 17. And Jennifer might just play Ounce again. We'll see. Ounce is not that bad of an idea, if you spell it correctly. She does play Ounce, and Jesse draws a little weird. He's got Volms. Oh, he plays Love, okay. Setting up an S lane, and okay, Jennifer draws pretty badly, actually. Still, though, Jesse got a bingo twice, and he can't do that with only 7 tiles in the bag. So, it looks like Jennifer, despite her pretty bad draws, is going to be safe. Actually, if Jennifer exchanges here, it's possible to bingo twice. If you're Jennifer, just play any word at all, and then there's fewer than 7 in the bag, and Jesse can't bingo twice. And she does play any word at all. She plays AA for 6, and pretty sad looking, but it should work. Pounces leaves Jesse with only 5 tiles to go. Oh, but Nye for 13, and we got an endgame here. 18 points. Jesse plays YA quickly. It's back to Jennifer, who's up by 8 with EIIW. She's got time to calculate here. She's down by 2. I don't think either player is going to go out next turn with these letters. All right, Weiss for 20. And it looks like Jennifer will hold on and win this one. Yeah, she's up by 11, and now she's going to just play off her final tile, the I, anywhere. And a valid word wins. So after a bizarre game where I spoke too soon and said it was over, Jesse comes back and makes it very competitive at the end. And then Jennifer does hold on and win after all. Looks like your final score is going to be Jennifer 418, Jesse 388, a 30-point win for Jennifer in Game 4. And let's go ahead and update your score. It was 3-0, Jesse, and now it's 3-1 in favor of Jesse. So Jennifer making this match competitive, and Jesse taking his very first loss of the World Blitzball Championship. He was 12-0 in the tournament. He's now 12-1 with his first loss. So I believe the players are taking a quick break. Hello to McGrath Yazafada in the chat. Hi, Jesse. Stupid Barfy. Oh, that's right. Barfy was available. It's a crazy game, Jesse. You were down by almost 200 and came back and made it very, very close at the end. So definitely entertaining on our end. But in the end, you come up a little bit short, and it's 3-1 now. So still in a pretty good position in the match. Looks like Jennifer is coming right back to her computer, and she's going to be ready to start Game 5 in just a moment. So 4 games down, 5 games to go here in this match between Jesse and Jennifer. World Blitzball Championship Week 2. Oh, I just realized that I did not update the week number on your screen. It says Week 1. That is not accurate. That is my bad. Let's go ahead and change that. Week 2, as I was saying. Hope no chance. All right, so game number 5 should be getting started any second now as Jesse and Jennifer settle in after a quick break to resume their match. It's been a good match so far. Jesse had some pretty big wins in the opening couple of games, but I think we're a little bit closer in games 3 and 4, and Jennifer had her first win in game 4. All right, so we're going to get started now with game 5, and a good opening rack of Bloated, and Jennifer plays Bloated quickly for 76 points in 3 seconds. More bad racks for Jesse, who draws 6 vowels, including 2 U's. He tried playing through it last game and it didn't work. He might try to exchange this time. See if he's learned his lesson. I think this looks pretty exchangeable, but I guess it's close. A word like Liu might be playable here. Nah, he's just going to exchange. I think I like that. So, no R for overween here for Jennifer. She'll probably just play something to balance the rack like V, E, V, E. All right, she'll play E now, 28. It's a good score, can't argue with that. And Jesse's got the Z. There's places to play Zoya or Zoil. He can play something overlapping EW with the F, like few and feel. Okay, so Feel keeps the Z and he sets up Z. Oh, that's very cool. So he has the Z and he's got Z available next turn. He can play ZA for a guaranteed score of, what is that, 66? Something like that. So a very creative setup by Jesse. And Jennifer might not do anything about the spot. I'm not sure with these letters what she's going to do here. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. She doesn't know, of course, that Feel is a setup. So she doesn't have any setup to block the spot. I don't know what her best just straight equity play is. I don't see anything super attractive in that spot. She does block the spot, but of course ZEA is also a word, and so Zia and Zoa is 48. Jennifer draws the first blank. She's got Verdin blank. I don't believe there's a spot for the 7-letter word of Verdins. And there's not a lot of spots for 8s either. This might just be a non-bingo turn, as good as the rack looks. And if that's the case, you got to play through these letters. You might play Derv next to Zoa, putting the V in the triple. You keep IN blank. That's definitely an option. Me personally, I don't mind being a little bit more aggressive, but I have the blank in hand already. But I don't know. There are definitely risks whenever you open triple trouble, that's for sure. Jennifer taking her time to consider her options. She's now used about 1 minute and 3/4 off of her 3-minute clock. But these are hard positions. You want to check for bingos, and you also want to, if you can't bingo, strategize well for future bingos. All right, Vandalize is the first bingo of the game for Jesse, and now there's an open triple for Jennifer to work with. Is there a triple? Oh, there's Time Worn. That's a hard word to find. Time Worn is definitely one option. Oh, she finds Towering. That's a nice one. 140 for Towering, and Jennifer takes a big lead. 290 to 147. So now it's Jesse in trouble here. Let's see what he can do to come back. He's down by, 143. You can play Janny through the A and Vandalize. He does play that, okay. Jennifer has the S, which she probably wants to use that to kill the Dev's spot and just get rid of any possible bingos down there. Or Debbie, there you go. So Foci and Debbie. Jesse plays Mew for 25, and Jennifer draws Unsuit, UNSOOTE, which I don't believe is going to play anywhere. Oh, it does play next to Janny, making YU. So she's got that bingo available. I've got some inside information. She's been studying 8s more than 7s lately. All right, she does miss Unsuit, but she plays Toe for 9, keeping a good bingo prone lead for next turn. After Aria, it's back to Jennifer, who's drawn the H and the X and all sorts of fun stuff. She plays Ox, just kind of killing bingos through the letters in Aria. Good defensive move. Up by 138. Should be safe, but I said that last game and look what happened. So now it's tough for Jesse. He's got some 1-point tiles that don't bingo on this board, and he wants to keep scoring to stay within striking distance, but it's going to be very, very hard. I shouldn't say stay within striking distance, more like get within striking distance. He's down by a lot right now. So Jesse, after starting the match 3-0, is danger of falling to 3-2, and this could get pretty interesting if that's the case. All right, he plays Axe, and he draws, I believe, Assured and Rudices are the words here. And he does play Assured for a nice score of 78. Jesse has drawn 1-pointers that don't bingo. Not what you want to see when you're down by a bingo late in the game, but still 15 tiles unseen, including a blank. This one is not over. He needs to just draw another bingo and do it fast, and he's got an okay shot at sealing this one, not a great shot. We shall see. All right, Hanky from Jennifer for 19 pretty quickly after Jesse plays Tut, and it's a whole bunch of 1-pointers and a P, too many vowels. Not a great rack for Jesse Day, and it looks like he will take his second loss here. So a rough go of it. Jesse has not drawn well here in games 4 and 5, and Jennifer has gotten the bingos she needs to stay ahead in these games. Both players doing okay on the clock. Neither one has gone over their 3 minutes yet, and there's only 10 tiles left in the bag. Just as I say that, Jennifer does go over. And it looks like a flurry of moves here in the pregame happening pretty quickly. Jesse does make the score pretty close here, but he can't get a bingo down with these last 7 tiles, and it looks like it's going to be Jennifer's game. So it looks like they're just going to be playing out the string here, and it will be the second win for Jennifer here in this week 2 match between Jennifer Clinchy and Jesse Day. Started out as a pretty big blowout in Jesse's favor, both in terms of games and spread, but Jennifer has made this one interesting with 2 wins in a row here. As long as she doesn't run out of time, which right now doesn't look like it's going to happen. Jesse is taking his time, looking for something, I guess. I very much doubt there's going to be any bingo or any kind of massive scoring play here, so not sure what there is to find, but he's taking his time nonetheless. 10 seconds until Jesse loses on time. We'll see if he just lets it run out or what. All right, so he will run out of time, and so that's going to be your game with Jennifer winning 2 in a row and making this match a little interesting. It was 3-0 not long ago, and now it is 3-2 in Jesse's favor. And we head to a pivotal game 6. All of a sudden, Jennifer with a chance to tie the series 3-3, but Jesse with a chance to go right up to the brink of winning this thing with a 4-2 lead. So a very, very pivotal game, Game 6 always is. And we'll have that game for you in just a moment. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hoping you're having a good Thursday night / Friday morning, wherever you might be. Hope you guys are enjoying all the live coverage of this event. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to close the board there for a second. If you're just joining us, this is how the Chipmunk group is looking right now with Jesse Day going into this match anyway with a record of 9-0. He is now going to be 13-2, including the 5 games he played so far in this match. Jesse in first place in the group going into this week with Jackson Smiley and Chris Grubb, 8-1, 6-3 respectively. And then Dipankar Chatterjee, Janil De Silva also winners in their matches, both 5-4. So very competitive group, and Jesse Day right now trying to stay in first place in that group, but every game counts. Jackson and Chris are very good players, and if they win their matches this week, they have a chance to pass Jesse for first place. So things could get very interesting here in Group C. We will see what happens. But as for this match, it is currently 3-2, and it is Jesse leading Jennifer 3-2 right now. Game 6 is coming up, and like I said, a pivotal Game 6. Whoever wins is going to be in a pretty good position. Either it's Jesse up 4-2 or Jennifer having tied the series 3-3. A lot on the line here in this upcoming game. Yeah, I see Budak in the chat giving a little bit of taunting to Jesse for missing, or no, it was Jennifer who missed unsuit, not Jesse, that's right. So yeah. Game 6 getting underway, and oh boy, this time it's Jesse's turn to have a big bingo to open. It's indexed for 98. Never good to have a 98-point deficit when you've played a single word, but that's what happens here, and it's going to be a tough uphill battle for Jennifer from here. She's got Ayah, though, A-Y-A-H. Or she can play Aha, that's fine too, I guess, 31. For Jesse, the Z, and I don't think there's like, well, there's some pretty good Z plays. I mean, Zip and Pax, or Zep and Pax is a way you can score like 48 right there, so definitely want to consider those. Or is it 46? Same difference. Yeah, 46 for Zep, and that is what Jesse chooses. So it's a big lead early for Jesse Day, up by 113. We'll see what Jennifer can do to create some fighting chances here, though. She's got the J, the W, the Y, some weird vowels. Not a great rack. She can play Jad, which is Jesse's initials, J-A-D. All right, Jai comes down for 24. Poe for 22, and we got ourselves another really weird rack for Jennifer with the F, the K, the Q, the W, the Y all together. Is this an exchange, or is this a play through it kind of situation? Let's see here. Not easy to play through, that's for sure. She does play through it, though. Inky playing off the K and the Y for 16, and Jesse is drawn pretty well. Well, you can't play gearing. That makes Pog. Pawn, those aren't words. Okay. I guess there's not actually a bingo here for Jesse. It just looks like there should be one. So for Jesse, it's a tough situation. You'd like to keep your bingo-prone tiles, but you don't want to be too fishy. Ooh, St. Monday points out that Fike would have scored okay and set up a Q. That's interesting. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, if you draw the I and then, oh, you already have the I, so you can play Fike next to the E and Zep and then play QI for 36. That's great. So Jesse takes his time and then finally plays Ag, keeping EGINR. Jennifer still has that Q, not an easy Q to use. She plays Wifed, keeping QT. And Jesse's got another rack that's close to a bingo but just isn't quite one. Let's see what he can do with this. I mean, he's got Frug from the F if he wants to kill bingos in line 15, which he might want to. Up by a bingo, why take your chances? Might want to just start blocking. Frug would keep what? EINR, that's pretty good. Jesse, though, is really having to think about this one. A lot to consider. Do you want to go for offense or defense?
All right, he plays fur, which leaves bingos open in line 15. And now Jennifer sets up QIN, and Jesse draws Garrodon for a bingo and plays it. Looks like finally now Jennifer's going to play the Q, I would imagine. She's got places to play Qua through the U in Garrodon. She's got QIN through the I in Vine. She's got her chances here. It's also interesting that she's got hooks for the word Vine. Oh, she's got A Vine. She can play QAT and A Vine for a pretty good score. That's 40. That's probably the play here if she can spot it. Vine to A Vine is not the easiest hook to spot, but if she does see it, she's going to have a pretty good Q play, which she was waiting for a while. All right, she plays QIN instead, and it's back to Jesse, who's got a little bit of a strange rack, but he plays Moai for some good points, 36. Eterio for Jennifer, and I don't think it plays. Oh, of course it plays. There's Ovine and Avine. All right, so looks like those are the only ways to play it, if I'm not mistaken. So she's got to look there and find that spot. She hasn't played it yet, and she needs to play it. She's down by 144. She needs the bingo yesterday. Clock ticking now. Jennifer's got 35 seconds left. Jesse with a pretty similar reading of 41 seconds on his. Tick tock, tick tock. 25 seconds to play. Yeah, I think Eterio and Avine has to be the play here. But I'm not sure if she's not seeing it or if she's just looking for a better spot or something. Taking a lot of time though. Oh, okay. She plays Vo. And then Fed for 41. That should do it. Big lead now for Jessie Day. And I don't think there's going to be much that Jennifer can do on this board. Yeah, going to be tough. She plays Gal. And as long as you don't flag here, if you're Jesse, you should be in pretty good shape. He's just going to look for ways to make decent plays that score a little bit and don't run himself over on the clock, and he should be in perfectly fine shape here. Jesse with 15 seconds followed by the minute overtime. Plenty of time, and he's got more time than Jennifer does. Running out of time is definitely a concern in this game. You've got 30 tiles still in the bag, and it's hard on a closed board like this to find plays sometimes. Like, for example, right now, Jennifer's got Erotica, no spot for that. And when you have this bingo rack that can't bingo, it's just hard to find alternatives to your bingo. Obviously, the top right corner where that G is probably the most open area, but even that, just there's not a lot of words that you can play. Yeah, Eco is fine, I guess. It's only 9 points, but what are you going to do? Jesse just plays off the S quickly, and Jennifer is in very grave danger of flagging here with still 26 tiles to go. Either way, it's going to be a win for Jesse, whether it's on points or on the clock, as he's got a big lead on both fronts. So after losing a couple of games in games 4 and 5, Jesse's come roaring back here in game 6. And Jennifer is now 7 seconds away from losing this one. Jesse also goes over, but he should be okay here. Probably don't want to leave that triple open through the R, especially with 2 blanks unseen. I'm sure he knows that he's got to play any valid word that he can in that spot. Turl, T-I-R-L will be fine, or lit will be fine. Although lit does still leave some bingos, like anything ending in ERS is a bingo. All right, well, Jennifer runs out of time, so that's that. 372 to 185 is your final, as Jennifer doesn't have time to finish this one, and your match score is now going to go from 3-2 to 4-2 in favor of Mr. Day. So Jesse's now 1 win away from guaranteeing himself the match victory and going to 2-0 in the tournament. And we have 3 games still to play in this match overall. Games 7, 8, and 9 are coming up. So here we go with game 7 starting now. And Jennifer has drawn a bingo of Woeness to open. W-O-E-N-E-S-S, sadness. She's taking her time. She might not know the word. She might know there's a word in that alphagram and not know what it is. All right, she plays O, sad.
And Jesse's drawn Archfoe, which I imagine we'll see come down. It plays overlapping O in a couple of different ways. He's also got the option of 4 Chi into the E. And I think those are the only two. Oh, 4 Hawk. Wow, 4 Hawk is available with a blank K through the O. Did not spot that one. It's a meat word. It's a cut of bacon or pork. Seems like Archfoe would be a totally reasonable play here, though, for Jesse. Shouldn't be too hard for him to find. He plays Forge. That is no good. It's 113 points if it's unchallenged, but it should be challenged. And it does come off the board. And Jennifer has shown 3 S's, all sorts of interesting stuff. I don't think there's a word here. I don't think en-mosses. I think en-moss is an adjective. Yeah, there's no en-mosses. She plays Mies, which seems fine. And Jesse still has Archfoe. Actually, does he have Archfoe? Does it play? I'm not sure if it does. He has 4 Chis into the ES. Oh, he does have Archfoe, making Okay, so he finds his bingo, and it's 86 to 30, but Jennifer's drawn well. She's got singers, resigns, etc. And I imagine she'll be playing one of those pretty quickly. She's also got bingos through the A, like assigner, reassign, searings, and so on. So definitely plenty of options here. Also, takes an S, so you can play singers there. Take your pick. I don't think there are any bingos here that score a ton. I mean, there's no double doubles through the C, I don't think. Ooh, and Jesse draws a blank and plays Pandying, 78 plus the challenge is 83. So even after singers, Jennifer is still basically down by a bingo. Oh yeah, Budak points out ingress in the chat would have overlapped O and U for a pretty good score. So after pandying, 66-point deficit for Jennifer to make up. She's got a little bit of a tough rack to work with here. You probably want to try to find a way to score with the Y a little bit if you can. That's not the easiest thing to do. She plays Airy for 23. That's an okay score. Jesse wants to ditch that Q, I'm sure. There's a couple of places for QI. I imagine he'll pick one of those. And let's see what he decides. There's QI above pandying. There's QI above singers. Both of them seem pretty reasonable here. I don't know what else there is to choose from in terms of candidate moves. Not a lot. Oh, he plays Zorro's, keeping the Q. That's interesting. I'm sure he's got his reasons. All right, so Vodun is the obvious word here, but is there a good spot for it? Not really. Duo comes down for 23, killing that triple. Ooh, Niqab. Very nice draw by Jesse, proving me wrong. Keeping the Q is just fine, apparently. All right, so big lead for Jesse, up by over 100 now. Vin comes down for Jennifer, and Jesse's drawn the X. That's always fun. I don't know if there's a great place to use it on this board, though. And he just plays QAT, keeping ALSTX. I don't know if an X spot is likely to open up in the future, though. It's going to be tough to use that X, I think. Divvy is the play from Jennifer. She's down by 110. J and the X for Jesse will guarantee, continued scoring, which is all he needs. Just continue scoring and you're fine here if you're Jesse. All right, so Jet for 26 puts Jesse in a pretty good spot here. Jennifer has no O for Uglid, no tile to work with for a bingo here. Budak says there was a 4-timer early on. I must have missed that too. Not sure what word you're referring to, huh? All right, so hinged for Jennifer opens a triple-triple. I would expect Jesse to block that, but we'll see. He doesn't. He plays Wax, and Jennifer draws bad. No triple-triple here. Wax puts Jesse up by 145. I mean, he can outrun even most triple-triples after a lead like that, so. All right, so Hale will kill the triple, and Jesse draws Abelia's. I don't think he's got a bingo that plays. Here, the L is only, what, saleable Isabella? And he plays ABBA for 38, keeping a good leave. Can't argue with that. Jennifer fishes away some vowels with Vought, and Jesse draws Leanese. No spot for his bingo again. He plays Eel. All right, Puny up top for Jennifer. She's down by a lot, though. And Jesse's got, looks like a bingo. Lion Cells from the L is available. And he does play that for 83. So a big, big lead for Jesse Day. So after dropping 2 in a row in games 4 and 5, Jesse has come back in dominant fashion to take control of this match. And it looks like he is seconds away from sealing the deal and winning it. It will be 5-2 Jesse with 2 games still to play. Again, if you're just getting used to the format of this tournament, yes, the match is guaranteed to Jesse, but every game counts for sure. I mean, when you're playing in a group that includes such players as Jackson Smiley, Chris Grubb, etc., it's going to be a close race for the playoffs with all those guys in that group. So Jesse is doing his best to win every game that he can, and right now he's doing pretty well at it. He was 9-0 last week, and he's about to go to 5-2. Final score in this one, 547, 322 your final. Chalk up the win for Jesse Day. And he goes to 5-2 in the match. Overall, 14-2 his first 16 games of the tournament. Can't knock that. Great record for Jesse overall. But yeah, as I was saying, a very competitive group. Jesse is 9-0 going into this week. Jackson Smiley 8-1. Chris Grubb 6-3. Zachary Dang is, a very good player as well. He was 4-5 his first weekend, but he's a very good player. He was actually the 3 seed in this group starting out, and he could definitely put up a fight as well. All right, we're going to be playing 2 more games here with Jesse and Jennifer, and they're getting started now with Game 8. And it is Jesse first to play with a clunker. He's probably going to want to maybe exchange. I don't know. Maybe you just play like R-E-E for 6. I don't know what to do with this. A bizarre opening rack. Feel free to share your opinions in the chat. Now he exchanges Re rather than playing it, and he draws very well on the second try. He'll probably have a double-double with, Gatorene. That'll work. So another early lead for Jesse Day, and we'll see if Jennifer can fight back. She's got a strange rack, but it's usable. There's words like Odso or Door, that works fine too. 19 points. Jesse's got YEP. I would expect to see that come down next to Faker, unless I'm missing something better, which I totally could be. So, well, I guess Jesse's going to take his time. There's other options. Fakery and Pie, 28. That's not bad. Jennifer draws Strongs, which I believe is not a word. Don't play that. I think I've tried that before, Strongs. Strong does not take an S. Adjective only. Pie taking hooks of S and T, so Jennifer has lots of letters to go there. 2 S's and a T to hook onto that word of pie. Oh, Songster is the bingo through the E. That's what she actually has that plays. Hard word to spot. I don't think she knows that one, but we'll see. Barring Songster, what are your other options? Well, I mean, you probably want to play off a G and an S and try to score a little bit, and it's not easy to do on this board. Not easy to do at all. Maybe you play, I know, I was just looking at things underneath DE, like just DEGs, but that's so weak. All right, Gone is the choice, keeping RSST. That's better than what I said. Jesse's now up by, what is that, 43. He plays G's for a big score, 77, and Jennifer had iritis, but I don't think she knew that word. She plays Rit for 13. For Jesse, not a bingo prone rack really, but definitely you can keep scoring with it. He's got ways to score with the W. Oh, he'll keep the W. He'll play Lakin for 26, keeping what is that, DRSW? Interesting leave. Could work out for him. We'll see. And Jennifer's drawing kind of weird. Not going to bingo anytime soon with these letters. We'll see what she can come up with. All right, so Vril opens the board a little bit. There will be spots from the V and the R. Jesse draws Voodoo, everybody's favorite way to dump W's and U's. I don't think there's a great spot for Voodoo. I guess above Gathering, making Ugg is going to score you a little bit. You could just play, well, I don't know. You could just play Voodoo. He does play Voodoo. Okay. Joel Pick 1 in the chat. Hi, Joel Pick 1. We're currently watching Jesse and Jennifer, and it is 5-2. Jesse with a pretty strong advantage right now in the match. He will win the match. We're just playing these final 2 games to settle the score. And midway through game 8, it is Jesse looking pretty good right now. 230 to 108. Jesse's got the lead, and it's back to Jennifer now with, Jesse plays HOH for 28, so it's 150 point lead now for Jesse with Jennifer to play. And she's got the second blank. She's got B Sting into the G up top. She's got some options, I'm sure, besides that. See what she decides to do. Both players doing okay managing the clock right now. 1 minute and 3 seconds left for Jennifer, or for Jesse, I should say. And Jennifer's got over 30 seconds still. A lot of tiles left to go, though. So for Jennifer, she plays Beastie, which opens a triple-triple. Maybe that's a good thing for her at this point in the game, though. All right, aspiring and praising are the words Jesse has into that G. I would expect to see those. One of them, anyway. You can't play both. That would be cheating. Jesse really taking his time. I'm not sure why. If I were him, I would play one of those very quickly, but Jesse is a little different from me in terms of speed of play sometimes. Taking his time here. I guess you could consider a play to block the triple through the B instead of bingoing, but I can't imagine actually doing that. Not sure what else there is to think about. Maybe he's not seeing the G up top, I don't know. He plays Pier. He must have missed the G. Wow, okay. So Jennifer catches a break, but she's still down by over 100. It's going to be tough for her. Does she leave the B open, or does she play limb or something through the B? Jennifer letting her clock tick down. She's now over on her clock, and 1 minute still to go. All right, after the play of Vi, Jesse kills the triple with inbox for 66, and that's a big, big score. Jesse in very good shape now, pretty likely to win here in game 8. He was in pretty good shape already, but inbox was kind of the final dagger. That should do it. So for Jennifer, you're down by 160. You just gotta desperately hope for big bingos and get them fast, but it's gonna be tough. And say it's a big bingo for Jesse, and the challenge is 5 points more. So this is gonna get out of hand real quick, as with still 13 tiles in the bag, Jesse's already at 471 and counting. An extra 5 for the challenge on Lowen as well. And Jennifer's got about 10 seconds left before this one is officially over. We'll see what she can play here on these final seconds, if anything. And she does play It for 17, and that might be her final play. Only 4 seconds left. Oh, she plays Flood pretty quickly, and Jesse played Atuit. Is that a word? A-T-T-U-I-T? No, it is not. So it gets rid of the phony there. Can't blame Jennifer for not challenging. She's got 3 seconds to just play as fast as she can. She can't afford to challenge anything. Jesse taking his time. He needs to not flag here. That is the one way to lose, is to flag. And he plays inboxing. Wow. Gets rid of the phony because, again, Jennifer can't challenge. She doesn't have time to look at the words. So a big phony of inboxing. Your final score is a ridiculous 561 to 297, aided by a couple of late phonies from Jesse Day. And the record of the match goes from Jesse 5-2 to Jesse 6-2. So congrats to Jesse on the victory. It's been a well-played match by him for the most part. We should have found praising last game. Jeez. And it's 6-2 now for Jesse, and we got one game left before the end of this match. So, game 9 coming up. Jennifer lost her first match to Chris Grubb, but salvaged a 3-6. She's going to try to salvage 3-6 again. As for Jesse, he was 9-0 in week 1, and he would love to go 7-2 in the second match to be 16-2 overall. We'll see what happens. Jesse, what did you do wrong? You missed praising. Other than that, you were great. And yeah, Jalopnik with a good point that taught it is the valid word in that twit. All right, overfits from Jesse is not a word. Overfit is an adjective. No S on that. Nice challenge by Jennifer. And Jennifer has talkier and tackler. She's got her options. She plays tackler. And I don't believe there's going to... Oh, overfast plays, making QIS. So, yeah, overfast is the play here. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, he misses it. He plays frost instead. Okay. So, maybe he looked overfast and didn't slow down to find that play. Ixia for 35 from Kempe, and she's got herself a lead right now, 124-50. We'll see if Jesse can come back, though. He's got decent tiles to score with, the M, the V, and whatnot. He can play... what can he play? I guess Mev. I mean, he is reasonable. Next to Ixia. He'll score 26 or so. 25, I guess. It looks like Jesse's going to take his time, though. Up 6-2 in the match. This is the final game. Jesse looking to finish out strong, go 7-2. But definitely using a lot of time here. Mivule, however you pronounce that word, for 22 plus the challenge. And Kempe plays Web pretty quickly for 29. She's one title off from Webcast, which is what we're doing right now. She had Web Cusp, though. All right, Hemp, 36 points for McGrathie and Jesse Day. And Kempe has the Y for Hempy, that rhymes. She plays off the Y, not making Hempy, though. She plays YU for 30. Keeping CEIST, good strong bingo prone leave. There are ways to bingo with the hooks on bays and cheese, QIS. We'll see if she can draw the CEIST. Meanwhile, Jesse plays Give, and Jennifer draws Ethnics. Okay, she's got herself a bingo. And a couple of spots to play it. See if she can find Ethnics. Ooh, that's not a word. She plays Niches, and that comes off. Okay. Good break for Jesse getting a free turn, and he needs it because he's down by 60. Can't block both spots for Ethnics, though, can you? Just gotta hope she won't find it. Jesse is probably gonna fish here. He's got a insert plus an I. You'd love to just fish the I, although where does the I go on this board? All right, he plays If, and Jennifer with Ethnics on her rack still. What's she gonna do? Is she gonna find Ethnics? She does not. She plays CH, keeping a very good lead of EINST, and oof, Jesse draws the tile you don't want to draw with insert. He's got insert R, which is like the worst letter to go with that bingo stem. So no word for him, and he fishes away the R and an N. All right, Jennifer draws Ditones and Stonied. I would expect to see Ditones come down. It does. And Jesse draws Adgister, Strygay, Seagirt, all of those. He's got Gators next to QI making QIS. He's got probably a few bingos that play. We'll see what he decides to choose. He's not too high on time right now. 20 seconds to go. 40 tiles in the bag is a lot. He plays Triages. Nice play with the 4 overlaps. Jennifer draws too many vowels. She's up by 42. She can afford to waste a turn, whether it's exchanging or making a short vowel dumping play. I might just exchange here. I don't know. I don't think you want to play Iota for 8. That seems pretty weak. Even after Iota, your rack is pretty bad. What else can be done, though? It's not easy. Jennifer taking her time, and she does have time to take. All right, she plays Oat, which does kill some bingos, and at this score, that's what you want to do.
Wow, Jesse draws pretty well. His rack looks decently bingoable with the blank and some other fun stuff. All right, Fetal is the play, opening more bingos through the L. Jennifer continues to draw not very well. She plays OE, and I don't think this rack bingos with the L. It's going to be a little bit tough for him to find any words. He fishes. He plays GU for 20. That's a pretty good score for a fish, though. He's catching up. He's down by 35. All right, he's got 50 seconds before he flags, 5-0. Olive from Jennifer kills bingos through the L. Good defensive play there. And what are you going to do? If you're Jesse, you're down by, 43. And it's just a very hard board. He has both blanks. There is an opening. Oh, he has Tonneau making UG in line D. That might be the play. He is using up a lot of time, though. He doesn't find it. He plays QIN for 12. And for Jennifer, I think you want to make quick plays, keep scoring. Or you can slow down and find better plays. Maybe you don't have to play too quick if you don't want to. All right, she plays Bow. Ooh, that opens up bingos up above, though. I don't think I like that very much. Yeah, Tonneau does come down, so he did see the word. I guess he didn't see the spot next to give, making UG. All right, Jesse's up by 28 now. 9 tiles in the bag. Jesse in serious time trouble. Solaria comes down, the bingo for Jennifer. That puts her ahead. Jesse's got 13 seconds. He plays Hota for 38. The Z for Jennifer should give her some points. Where are those points coming from, though? She can play Les, making AL next to Hota. Well, okay, Says, that's even better. Jesse plays quickly. He plays Rind for 24. And Jennifer's going to go over. That 10 points could matter. We got a very close game. And, ooh, DRP. Oh, no. Jesse misplaced DAP. He tried to play DAP and he missed the A, playing DRP, and now Jennifer goes out. Oh, my. What an unfortunate ending for Jesse. Oh, jeez. And that's how your match comes to a close, folks. It ends with Jesse misplacing his D and his P, playing DRP instead of DAP, and Jesse loses the game as a result. So your final score, instead of being Jesse 7-2, is actually going to be Jesse 6-3. A messy endgame where Jesse just gets low on time and goofs up, but he still wins the match. So congratulations to Jesse Day for winning the match, 6-3 over Jennifer Clinchy here in week 2 of Blitz Champs. Jesse improves to 2-0 overall in match play, but definitely not without some boo-boos here in this match, that's for sure. A sad ending to what was overall a very entertaining match between Jesse and Jennifer. So Jesse will be 2-0 with an overall record of 15-3 in the group, and Jennifer will be 0-2 with the inverse record of, or no, actually better than that, 6-12. Coming up this weekend, a whole lot more matches to show you guys. If we take a look at the schedule, we got David Eldar and Madhav Gopal Kamath coming up in about 3.5 hours. Make that 3 hours now, I should say. That'll be on twitch.tv/Deldar182. And then after that, we got Conrad and Dorothy, Hubert and Nathanon, a whole lot more matches coming up later. And then tomorrow, we've got a whole lot more games. Edward Oculus is playing Joe McGinley on twitch.tv/Joseph McGinley. And then Brian Bowman's playing Alex Tan. Amit Chakrabarty's playing Cesar del Solar. And Josh Sokol's playing Leon Tan. And then after that, a whole lot more matches coming up all weekend long. I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. It's been a great broadcast. I hope you enjoyed seeing this match. Again, that's Jesse Day winning 6-3 over Jennifer Clinchy. And Jesse improves to 2-0 overall in the tournament. I've been told that when I log off, I should raid people. And I believe that, yes, okay, our good friend Wanderer15 is still streaming. So I'm going to send him a raid and we can, let's see here. What should we tell him in the raid? Let's tell him Blitz Champs raid. All right. Thanks again to everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the match. Congrats to Jesse on the win. Sorry about the DRP thing. That wasn't great, but overall, a great match. Enjoyed watching it. Thanks, everybody, and so long. Enjoy, Will.